Hello friends, welcome to Python from Scratch lecture series. I am Hardik Upadhyay. In this lecture, I will explain list in Python. My previous videos are available on this YouTube channel, that is Python from Scratch. Kindly visit it and subscribe it for latest updates. So let us start with list. So list is the most versatile data type of Python. Items in the list can be written down in the bracket and it would be comma separated value. So for example, if I wanted to define a list, let's say L, then that items can be written down like this way: 2, 3, 4, high, 5.6, like this way. So list can have member from any type, and that is why it is known as most versatile data type. So items in a list need not be of the same type, and list is indexed. List is indexed. What does that mean? If I wanted to access this particular element, then I can, like, index value of this element is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if I would write down L of 0, then that is gonna return me 2. So that is why it is known as ordered collection of item. So let me just have a demonstration for the same. Let me open Python editor. I am using Python 3.6 for a reference. So if I wanted to define a list, then simply I can write down the item within bracket 1, 2, 3, high. This is the string item within list. This is the float item within the list. So, and if I would type of L, then it would return me list class. As this is Python 3.6, all the data types are implemented in the form of class. If we were working with older version, then the data types were inherent data types, so that was the native data type, so that was not class. So this is object oriented approach. So in Python 3.6 they are using object oriented approach. Other than that, we can access the element of list by index values. So L of 0 equals to 1, L of 1 equals to 2, L of 2 equals to 3 and L of 4 equals to 4. If I would try to access the element which is not exist, then it is simply gonna throw an error, that is index error. It means list index out of range. So it is saying that whatever item you are trying to access, that is not available with the list. So with list actually many syntax works. For example, let's say if I have got some list A equals to, let's say, 1, 2, 3, and if I wanted to have new list, let's say B equals to A plus 5, 6, then I would have new list which contains appended value in previous list. So this syntax also works with the list. So basically this is just an introduction of list, and I would say that creating and accessing list in Python, that was the demonstration for the same. Now let us try to understand how we can copy the element from one list to the another. Now normally whenever I am saying copy, then we would simply like assume assignment operator. For example, let's say if I have got some list, then I can use A equals to B, for example, so which is going to copy the items from one list to another list. But that is not the case in Python. Let me demonstrate you. Whenever we are actually using assignment operator, so basically it is gonna create reference, it is not going to create copy. Let me demonstrate the same. For example, I have got one list A equals to this 1, 2, 3. If I am doing A equals to B, then B would also have let me just okay, that was B was having some values before this. So let me just delete it, delete B, delete A. So it is gonna simply delete the list from the current scope. Now let me assign some value A equals to 1, 2, 3, and let me have B equals to A. So B would also contain the same value. Now if I would change the value of, let's say, second element of B, let's say B of 1 equals to right now 2, and I am changing it to 40. list is mutable. It means one can change the value of list. So now B contains 140 and 3. Now at the same time, if I would try to access value of A, then even A would have the same value. So basically what does this mean? It has not copied the list, but it is actually pointing to A and B. If I am doing this A and B, then A and B both are pointing to same memory area. So we can say that it is actually creating the reference. So the question should arise, how to copy the list from how to copy the items, data items from one list to another list. So for that, in Python, the Pythonic way to do so is let's say rather than writing B equals to A, in this case we should write B equals to A bracket, and within this bracket we should write down colon. This is the Pythonic way to copy the list. Now this is actually known as slicing. Now let us understand how one list can be compared with another list. So let's say if I have got some list A equals to 10, 20 and B equals to once again 10, 20, and if I wanted to compare these two lists, then I can use this operator A equals to B. If both lists are having same value, then it is gonna return me true. So let me demonstrate the same. A equals to, let's say 10, 20, B equals to once again same value 10, 20, sorry, and C equals to some other value 10, 30. So if I would do A equals to B, then that is definitely gonna return me true, and if I am doing A equals to C, then it is gonna return me false. So that is the way we can compare the value from multiple lists. Now let us try to understand how to perform some operation on each element of the list. So for example, let's say if I have got A equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10, and if I wanted to perform sum of the all elements of the list, then how would I perform it? So let me demonstrate the same. So for that, we definitely we need to use the concept of loop, and the best appropriate loop for this is for loop. I hope you could able to recall the syntax of for loop. So I am directly gonna demonstrate the same. So let me delete all other lists, delete A, B and C, just to avoid any sort of confusion. So right now I am not having any list with me. So let me create or build up one list that should contain some value from 1 to 10. Let's say if I wanted to perform sum of all elements, then what I need to do, I need to take one variable sum equals to 0, means I need to take declare one variable and I need to initialize it with 0 value. Now I can use for loop, let's say for num in the collection means over here that is list. What I need to do, I need to perform sum equals to sum plus each element. So what exactly this statement is going to do, it is first gonna copy 1 into number, and that is gonna perform summation, means sum equals to 0 plus 1 equals to 1. Then after next iteration it will copy 2. So now sum got some value called, let's say 1. So 1 plus 2 equals to 3. Now sum contains 3, and 3 plus 3 equals to 6. Like this way it is gonna iterate through each element, and final answer will be stored into the sum variable. So if I would print sum, then I would get the answer. So basically loop can be used to iterate through each element, and the best appropriate loop for this particular purpose is for loop in Python. Now with list we can use various operators. For example, in, not in, plus operator and multiplication operators. So these are the operators. So this in operator is useful just to test whether the item that you are looking for that exists within the list or not, and not in is exactly opposite of in. So let me demonstrate the same. Let's say we have got one list that contains 1 to 10. Now if I wanted to test whether 5 in A, then it is returning true. But if I wanted to, let's say 11 in A, then it is definitely gonna return me false. Same way, 5 not in A, that is false because 5 exists in A. So that is not in an in operator. Another operator is plus. So plus operator is basically going to extend the list. So if I have got one list A equals to, let me just scroll, okay, A equals to this, and if I wanted to extend it, let's say I wanted to append some new element, then it is directly gonna append it. So plus operator can be used to extend a list, whereas multiplication operator is the creation of list with similar value. What does that mean? Let's say if I have got some list, new underscore list equals to let's say 1 comma 2 new underscore list. Okay, so that contains some value. Now what I wanted to create another list from new underscore list, and I wanted to create it for 4 times, like I wanted to repeat the element of the list for the 4 times. So now another underscore list contains 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 for 4 times. So like this way multiplication operator is the creation of list with the similar value. So these are the operators with list. Now let us understand very important concept of list, that is list slicing. Now what is slicing? Slicing allows you to obtain the sub list. Means if you wanted to extract specific element from the list, then other than index value, means using index value only, but we can extract specific element from the list and we can generate sub list out of that. So that particular concept is named as list slicing. This slicing is not specific to list only. It is applicable for all data structures of Python, specifically to list, tuple and sets. So we'll look and even string slicing. So let us try to understand how does it work. So basically the syntax for list slicing is list first index colon last index colon step. So this is the syntax for list slicing. So basically by default first index is 0. By default last index is the last index value of the list item, and by default step value is 1. Step value is actually the optional one, so that is not compulsory one. So let me directly try to explain you what does that mean. Let's say if I have got some list item A equals to 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. If I would do A equals to 2 colon, then I have mentioned my first index. First index is mentioned, last index is not mentioned. So if I am not gonna mention my last index, then it will print the item or it will extract the item up to last item. So which is the second index, that is 0 1 and 2. So it will start extracting the list from that value and it will return me 2 3 and 4 5. Let me do reverse of that. If I am doing something like A of, this is not equal, okay, A of 2. So over here I am omitting first index value. So basically it would do like last index is 2, so it would start extracting element from 0th value. So this one and this one up to this index, but it is not gonna include this. So excluding the index that we are mentioning, it is gonna print the result. So result would be 0 and 1 over here. So like this way we can extract the list element. It is like we can even mention something like a of 2 colon let's say 4. So it would start extracting element. This is the 0th element, this is first element, and this is second element. So answer would be 2 and 3. It is gonna extract the value before this last index. Okay, so this is the way how list slicing is working. By default step is 2. If we are doing something like this, a equals to, I am omitting first index, I am even omitting last index, and I am simply using some index step value, let's say 2. So answer would be 0, it will skip first element, then 2, it will seek fourth element, 4, like this way. So this is how list slicing is working. Even list index value, normally the index value works like the array of other programming language like C, but over here even Python supports negative indexing as well. What is this negative indexing? Let's say if a equals to 10, 20 and 30, so the index values are 0, 1 and 2. Even same index value can be replaced by -1, -2 and -3. What does that mean? If I am doing a of 0, then it will answer me 10. If I am doing a of -3, then also it is going to give me the same answer. So Python supports negative indexing. So this is a new concept introduced in Python. Programming languages like C or other programming languages only supports positive indexing. Over here Python supports negative indexing as well. Basically negative indexing useful to extract the last element of the list. If you wanted to process something from reverse side, then you need not to know the index of that particular element. So basically that is mainly useful for the dynamic programming. So that's it for the list slicing. Let me just demonstrate the same. Actually I have not gone through the demonstration, so let me open the Python terminal. Just a minute. Yeah, here it is. So let's say a equals to 10, 20 and 30. So if I am doing a of column, then it will extract all element. If I am doing a of 0 to 2, then it will extract 0th element, that is 10th, and first element, that is 20. So first index, last index, -1 value. If I would do step equals to 2, I am not mentioning last index. If I am not mentioning last index, then the final index value would be considered over there. So it is gonna skip one value. It is doing step equals to 2. Even negative indexing, that the one I was talking about. So the number of elements is 0, 1 and 2. So over here 30 would have -1, 20 would have -2, and this one would have -3. So if I am doing a of -1, then it will extract the last element of the list. So this is list slicing, and slicing concept is mainly applicable for. Now let us understand various methods that works on list. So I would like to start explaining list method from append and extend. So basically append method would gonna add single element at the end of list, whereas extend method is gonna append another list at the end of existing list. So if I have, let me just have a demonstration directly. So let me scroll it. Yeah, let me delete A, delete B. If I have delete L, okay, Now I am not having any list. L equals to, let's say I'm 1, 2 and 3. What I am doing is L dot append, and I am adding one element, let's say 5. So basically it has appended the value. Let me test it. So 1, 2, 3 and 5. Same way, let's say if I have got one list, A equals to 1, 2, 3 and B equals to 5, 6, 7 or 6, 6, 7. That is fine. Now if I am doing A dot extend which B, so what it has done, it has extended entire list B into A. So now A is modified to new list that contains the value 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 7. B would remain as it is. So the normal thing, the common thing or common error I would like to say that append and extend method does not return new list. It just modifies the original one. It returns the special value named as none. So these are the two methods, append and extend. Other than that, the third method I would like to explain, that is index method. So what is this index? Index search for an element in the list and returns the first occurrence. So if you want to specify a range of valid index, you can indicate the start and stop indices. If element is not found, it would raise an element. It would raise an error. So basically, let me demonstrate the same. If I have got some list A equals to this one that contains some item, so I have to, let's say, A dot index, and I wanted to print the index of 3. So the index of 3 is 2. For example, index of 6. So it would print the first occurrence of the index. So that is 0, 1, 2 and 3 for this 6. Okay. Other than that, if I would try to extract the index value which is not exist, means value, then let's say if I let me try to extract the index value of 8. So 8 is not exist in that list, so it is simply gonna raise value error. 8 is not in the list. Other than that, another method is remove. So basically the syntax is list itself dot remove the element that you wanted to remove. So basically this method searches for the first instance of the given element and removes it, and if the element that you wanted to remove from the list, if it is not exist in the list, then it is gonna throw the value error. So this is quite simple. The next method is sort. So syntax is list name list dot sort. All these methods that can be used with list only. So list name dot list name dot list name dot, like that way. Okay, so basically this sort method, as name suggests, that is gonna sort the list, and it is not going to actually return the list, sorted list. It is simply gonna modify the original list. So let me have some list, unsorted list. A equals to 1 5 3 7 5 2. So I have got some unsorted list. A dot sort is simply gonna modify the existing list. It is simply gonna sort it like this way. So this is sort method. Another method, important method, that is reverse method. So it is list dot reverse. So reverse, as name suggests, it is gonna reverse the list in place. It is once again does not, any of the method actually does not return any value. It returns only none. Whenever we are applying any method on the list, if it is a method, then it is simply gonna modify the existing list. So reverse method, A, I have got some A, then A dot reverse. So I would have list in descending order actually, and if you wanted to order your list into descending order, then first sort it and reverse it. So that is another way to have the list in descending order. Now the next method I would like to explain, that is pop. List dot pop, and that contains one argument, that is index 1. So basically what it is going to do, it is going to remove the indexed value and returns the element at the given index. For example, let's say a dot remove. Basically what it was doing, it was simply removing the element and it was returning nothing. Let me do that. A equals to like this. If I am doing a of, let's say a dot remove and 1, so it is simply gonna remove 0th and first element. A dot remove 5. So it is simply gonna search the element and it was removing it. Once again a dot remove 5, so it has removed it. So whatever item we are removing, it is not returning, it is not indicating the user or a programmer what item it is removing. Now if I want it to display which item has been removed, then it is better to use pop. So basically I can use it like this way, a dot pop, and the index value that I wanted to remove, let's say first. So it is actually returning that pop value, that is 3. Even I can use this pop method without any index value. Let's say a contains this item, and if I am doing a dot pop, then it will simply remove the last item. So this is pop method with list. So these are the basic or common method that can be used with list. Let us now understand list build up and delete. So basically whenever while programming, if you want to build up a new list, then the common approach is declare the empty list equals to, let's say like this, and then you append or extend using the method append or extend. So list dot append, for example, let's say a. Once again list dot append b. So your output would be list equals to, it is gonna return you a and b. So this is the way how you can build up the new list. And if you want to delete the list, then you can use delete keyword like del and the name of list. So it is going to delete entire list. So delete operator can be used to remove the definition from local scope. Even you can use specific index value to delete the, you can use the index value to delete specific element. For example, let's say del list of 1. So it is only going to remove 0th and first element. So delete can be used to delete entire list, as well it can be used to delete the element within the list. So this is the way how you can build up and delete the list. Now next point is sort versus sorted. So we have already gone through one method named as sort. Now there is a function available in Python named as sorted. Now first of all, let us try to understand function versus method. So what is the fundamental difference between function and method? Those who have gone through object-oriented programming, they might be aware about this concept. So function is nothing, it is just a block of statement that performs particular task, whereas method is the function which is declared within class definition. So method is a function which is defined within class. Method can only be accessible by object name dot method name, whereas function can directly be accessible like this way, function, without using object name. So this is just a technical difference between function and method. Wherever I am going to explain object-oriented programming, at that time we will look into this function and methods in detail. But right now let us understand sort versus sorted. So sorting means basically this method and function both are useful to sort the list. So how sorted is differing than sort? So basically whenever we are performing sort operation, it was actually modifying existing list. Now sorted, what exactly it is doing, if I'm having some list A equals to 5 to 1, and if I am doing sorted A, then it is going to return me the sorted list, so I need to store it somewhere. And if then later on if I am gonna print the value of B, then it will have sorted one. So this is the first fundamental difference between sort and sorted. Sorted is gonna return you the sorted list. Other than that, like sorted function uses various parameters. First parameter is list itself. So syntax of sorted: list, first parameter is list itself, second is a flag value. This is optional actually. If you want to do reverse sorting, or if you want to organize your list in descending order, then you can even write down reverse equals to true over here. So basically it is going to perform the sorting in reversal order. So sorted function is easier to use compared to sort, and that is why it is recommended to use sorted. Even sorted function use, this is the flag value actually. So multiple flag values are supported. Another flag value is key. So basically sorted uses like key value. For example, let's say if I have got some list like A equals to BB, let's say CCC, D and A, 4 times A. If I would apply sorted A, then what will be the output? Output will be like it is going to organize my list into ascending order. So by alphabet A would come first. So items contains A, B, C and D, let's say something like this. So this is the output that I am going to get. Now what I wanted to perform sorting not on the basis of alphabet. I wanted to perform the sorting using length of the list element. So for example, the element which is having shortest length, that should be come first. So if I am expecting that sort of output, then I need to write down the entire program. Like I need to iterate through each element. I need to use length function to identify the length of each element, and I need to compare it with other element. So basically I need to write down a program of few lines to achieve the same. But using sorted, we can achieve the same thing in single line. We can write down directly like this way: sorted, the list I wanted to sort, and I need to mention key value. Key equals to length. So basically length is the inbuilt function in Python. So I can pass inbuilt function of Python as a second argument that is going to apply on this particular function, and the output would be this now: D, BB, CCC and let's say A. Why I am getting this particular output? Like key value is length. So length of this is 4, length of this is 2, length of this is 3 and length of this is 1. So it is actually performing sorting on this key value rather than performing it on the alphabet itself. So like this way sorted would be more useful. So once again, in a nutshell, sort is a method on a list that modifies underlying list and returns none, whereas sorted is a function which takes list as an argument and returns a new list in sorted order. Using whenever we are using sorted, it is not going to modify the original list. Another difference between sort and sorted is sort method can works on list only, whereas sorted works on any collection. So that is another difference. So that's it for sort versus sorted. Now let us try to understand list out of string, string out of list and list out of string, vice versa. What does that mean? Let's say if I wanted to create a single string out of list, how would I create it? For example, let's say name equals to, I have got some list like my name Hardik. is Hardik, let's say is Hardik. If I wanted to generate string out of this list, how would I do that? So basically, whenever we wanted to generate string out of list, so list to string, then we are gonna use join method. We wanted to join the element and we wanted to generate single string, and whenever we have got some string reverse of this and we wanted to generate list out of string, then we need to use split. For example, let's say my name is Hardik. So this is single string, but I have got some delimiters like colon over here. So if I wanted to split it into string, if I wanted to split this string into list, then I need to use split. I wanted to split it. Okay, so let me explain you this join and split. How does it work with Python? Let us try to understand practically. Let's say I have got one list, a equals to my name is Hardik. So I have got some list. Now if I wanted to generate string out of this, then string will be stored into b variable. Now syntax is first is like empty single inverted comma. So basically I wanted to generate plain string. I don't want to separate my this particular word my and name with any delimiter. So over here what I am doing is I am simply using join and entire list. So now b would contain this string. So this is how we can generate string out of list. If I would type b, then that is string. We can have another example. Let's say c equals to, rather than empty single quote, what I am doing, I am using colon. So basically it has generated the string, but the string contains column between each word. So this is the way how we can join multiple words or multiple items of a list into single string. So string out of list using some delimiter. Reverse of this, like let's say I have got one string, let's say c equals to my name is Hardik, and I wanted to have list. So over here this particular string is having this colon as a delimiter. So what I need to do, let's say d equals to the string that I am having, c dot the method I wanted to use split, and by which delimiter I wanted to split, by colon. So now d contains the list. So this is the way how we can generate the string means list out of string with some delimiter. So that is how, like, string out of list and reverse list out of string. Now let us try to understand the most important concept of list, that is list comprehensions. So list comprehension is a compact way to write an expression which expands on whole list. So basically the syntax for list comprehension is we can write down entire expression like this way. This is the for loop, this is the syntax of for loop, and the expression that you wanted to apply on each item that you can write down over here. For example, let's say if I have got some list number equals to 1, 2 and 3. If I wanted to perform square operation on each element, then the first way is I need to write down for loop. So the first way is like for x in number, then after what I need to do, x power 2, and that is equals to, like this is the thing, I need to take one list, result equals to blank, then I need to add result dot append this answer, let's say a equals to, so a, and after for loop I need to print result. So if I wanted to perform power operation on each element of list, then I need to write down code of this 5 line. So rather than doing it, if we are using list comprehension, then we can apply expression within list itself. So how can we achieve it? So here is the way. For that, let me just do it practically. X equals to, let's say 1, 2, 3. Then how would I apply the list comprehension? So I wanted to store the result over here. So first of all, I need to extract each element. So to extract each element, I am gonna use for, let's say, number in X, and whatever number I am extracting, that I am gonna, let's say, number multiply by 2. Done. So result would have the final result. Sorry, result. So 5 or 6 line program can be replaced with the single line program using list comprehension. Another syntax for list comprehension is, so this is the half syntax actually, I would say. We can even apply if else condition with the list comprehension. So basically, first of all, extract each element. This is the first step. Whatever element you are extracting, apply the whatever expression you wanted to apply after having if condition. So extract each element, apply if condition, and whatever result you wanted to generate after applying expression, that will be there. So let us have an example. For example, I have got one list, number equals to 2916, and what I wanted to do, I wanted to select the values which are less than or equals to 2 from list. So the value which are less than or equals to 2, that I wanted to select. So basically, using single line program in Python, how would I able to achieve it? If I wanted to go by normal program, then definitely it would take 6 to 8 line of code. But over here, I can directly write down small equals to, what I wanted to do, for example, for n in number. So one by one it is gonna extract each element. Then I wanted to test the condition. If the number that I am extracting, if it is less than or equals to 2, then print it. As simple as that. So I don't want to apply any expression. Done. So this particular single line of code would extract each element from the list. It will test for the if else condition, and on that basis it will evaluate the expression. So list comprehension is really a Pythonic way. Let me just test this particular program. Let's say we are already having X. Okay, so let me just have another list, number equals to 156 some random value 0. Okay, and I wanted to extract elements which are less than or equals to 2. So how would I do that? So final equals to, I wanted to apply list comprehension. So first of all, I need to extract the element from the list. So for n in number, if the value that I am extracting, if it is less than or equals to 2, then what I wanted to do, I wanted to print the n, and I am done. For n, sorry, in number, and I am done. Final. So I have got the answer. So list comprehension is really a nice way to, it is simply gonna shorten the length of your program if you use it effectively. Another example if you wanted to take, then let's say fruits equals to, if I have got some list of fruits, apple, cherry, and let's say banana. So I have got a list of fruits with me. Now what I wanted to select the fruits that contain a character in the spelling, and I wanted to convert it into capital letter. So if you wanted to perform same program in any other programming language, then definitely it is gonna take 10 to 12 line of code. In a Python, it is simply gonna achieve the task in single line. So let's say final cap. Okay, caps, that is the answer where I am storing. What I need to do, for example, for f in fruits. Okay, now what I wanted to do, if a in f, so whatever item I am extracting, it is simply gonna check whether that item contains a character within the spelling or not. If it is containing, then what I wanted to do, I simply wants to upper it. So f dot, we have got some function upper, and we are done. So final underscore caps would contain two things, because cherry doesn't contain a within the spelling. So just imagine the power of Python. Using list comprehension, I can reduce my code up to single line rather than writing 10, 12 or 15 line of code. So that's it for the list comprehension, and that's it for the list. My dear friends, I hope you would like this video. Thanks a lot.